you know what happened when you are world champion? That you feel like when you are fighting for something so many years, you are just behind something, like a dog behind a sausage, you know, like just running to catch it. Once you have it, you say, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I get it, and now what?
Yeah,
now,
right.
okay. And you wake up the day after and say, okay, you are world champion, but you need to do the same or even better next year.
The breakfast tastes the same.
Exactly the same. It's quite annoying.
Welcome to Last on the Brakes, the MotoGP podcast. This week, not sure if you can tell from behind us, from Misano once again as we return for the Emilia-Romagna GP, and with Pol Espargaro.
The Polcast, as his press officer called it. No, he is the press officer, Harry Lloyd called it that, not us. But yes, we have Pol Espargaro with us. First time speaking to Pol Espargaro. Of course, you might remember we spoke to Aleix back in Jerez. So if you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch it, because I think, like, as we always do, we started with Pol's origin story, but we heard more of a full story from that, I think, from Aleix.
Yeah, and if you do prefer the audio format, go and listen to it.
Yeah.
I'll advocate for that one.
Yes, yeah, please, please do go and listen to the audio format if you, for whatever reason, can't cope with masks.
So yeah, obviously, interesting guy, really interesting new challenge this year, but it's not just about, so how was your first season with Repsol Honda? A little bit about his backstory and career, but also about those big decisions, how you make them, what made him take the decision to go to KTM, what made him take the decision to go to Repsol Honda. I think it's a really interesting one, it's a nice one, that kind of trajectory. I
think we might have gone maybe, not an exclusive, but something that hasn't been talked about much before. He did say that offer he had from Suzuki was something he's not really mentioned much previously.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting, so keep an eye out for that. I think this is a really fascinating episode as well. Really, we pressed it up. We didn't anticipate asking about this, but did end up pressing what it's like being a world champion, that feeling, whether it lives up to expectation or not. Something quite a relevant conversation, you know, given the, I think a lot of talk about Moto3 and Moto2 in recent months, how competitive it is, how fierce it is, all those, you know, in some cases young athletes and dreaming of being a world champion. Does it actually live up to the hype? Good question.
Love it. So yeah, and then the question of the week that we always ask before, kind of taking inspiration from Pol. I've immediately forgotten what we agreed. What was it?
What Pol actually talked about is that you asked him about his passion for playing piano. Pol was told when he was a kid in school, piano's not cool, what are you doing with that? And he stuck with his passion because now he thinks it's cool.
Well, he came back to
his passion. Back to it, yeah, right. So our question to you guys is, do you have a passion, something you were interested in when you were a young kid in school, that everyone said to you at the time, that's not cool, but then you either came back to it later in life or you just stuck with it anyways? For me, as I said in the podcast, it's motorbike racing. I was told by kids in school it's not cool. I was like, I don't care, I enjoy it.
No, I appreciate that. Mine is more my taste in music, which is partly visually obvious, but also those sort of like Laurel Canyon 70s niche rock and roll songwriters. When you're younger, they're like, well, that's not cool. And it's like, well, now I know that it is cool to like them, not because of something being cool or not, but because whatever you like, being true to that and enjoying it is good.
Exactly.
You know, a little bit of over-the-top life lessoning there, but yeah.
That's what this podcast is all about, and MotoGP. Yeah, put your comments in the YouTube version of this podcast or tweet us using hashtag MotoGP podcast. We do read them. We just don't always respond. It's been a very busy second half of the season. But we do read them. I really do enjoy it, actually. I was reading it actually when I landed on the flight the other day, actually, the hashtag.
Top geek level.
Yeah, so thank you for getting in touch, everybody. I guess we'll get on with the show. We'll see you afterwards, shall we?
Yeah, over to Pol Espargaro, is how you meant to say it.
You can start.
Okay then. So welcome, Pol.
Hi, welcome.
As our guests will already know, because we will mention that it's you in the intro.
Okay.
You're our guest this week. Welcome to Last on the Brakes. First time we're talking to you. Obviously, like we said when we were just chatting before we started recording, had Aleix on earlier in the season, so we've got a few childhood secrets there.
Not good for sure. Not good secrets for sure.
But yeah, when we've not spoken to someone before, we usually start with a classic question.
Okay.
How did you start riding? How is it that you're a motorcycle racer? Obviously, we have some of the story from Aleix. What is it like for you as that kind of younger brother?
So, okay, thanks for having me, first of all.
Oh,
and
no one's ever said that.
Yeah, you're literally the first person who said that.
So, the first time when I was a kid, I was playing football. Well, I was a keeper. So it was a kind of mixed feelings when my brother was going in motorcycle on the weekends, because I was kind of forced to do what your old brother is doing. You know, it's what young brothers are doing normally.
Classic.
Do what the old brother do. But also I like it so much to play soccer. So it arrived to one point where Sundays were the matches and Sundays were the races. Ooh. So my father sit me on the, in front of the table and said, okay, mate, you can do whatever you want, but you need to choose something. We cannot split in two, and you need to choose motorbikes or football. So then I choose motorbikes, not because I love it more than soccer. It was because my old brother was racing. Okay. So that's why I'm here.
And you wanted to beat him already, or?
No, I was just trying to copy, just to be part of the family, having fun on the weekends together.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I guess when it is your brother, also like your whole family will be involved in his racing.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like this family activity. Was it that kind of, did you have those good vibes, like everyone kind of racing together, to use a Dorna tagline?
Yeah, I mean, at the end about this family, I felt a little bit sorry sometimes with my sister, because we were going on racing with my brother, my father. Sometimes my mother was coming and my sister was staying with my grandfathers, because she was very, very, very young. She's a couple of years younger than me. So we were racing like in Europe, or even going outside Europe with 15 years old already. And my sister needed to stay at home, and we're like a kind of a split family, and I was feeling a little bit bad for it. But it was nice, to travel with your family at least around Spain when we were very young. And sometimes they were coming in Europe, and this was very, very nice.
That time your dad sat you down and said you need to make a choice. Did racing and riding motorbikes become more serious from that point?
Not really. I started to realize motorbike was serious in the age of, I think, 13 years old. Till that moment, I was not feeling the pressure or anything. I was just having fun on a motorbike. The problem is 13, 14 years old, I was doing the Spanish Championship. And in that moment, the teams in the Spanish Championship, they are professional. And you can feel how much everything costs. Yeah. The motorbikes, the mechanics. Because mechanics are talking about salaries, and something is going out. Is going around, and then you start to feel, come on, if I destroy the bike, how much costs the bike? How much it costs this if I crash? And then in that moment you realize there is a lot of money going on in this job, and then you start to feel that it's not just a funny thing. Yeah. It's starting to be a job, and then the pressure comes.
Still enjoyment though?
Yeah, it's different kind of enjoying, but it becomes more serious for sure.
So, okay, that's an interesting one. So then obviously, if it felt more serious, then you decided to turn professional, make it your career. You've had quite a different path to Aleix where you are now, so then it's not quite the same, all moving around together, doing the same stuff on the same path. What was the biggest influence on where you've gone to get to where you are now, or to get to MotoGP first? Yeah,
it was very, very different ways of going into the MotoGP. I mean, there is different ways to arrive to MotoGP. There is guys which they have been alone in one team and their career is super smooth, and you can see in the results. And then there is guys like me that I've been changing the team, but I've been, I think, honestly quite lucky with the places I've been, and I could be world champion in a good team like Pons. And then there is my brother, which has been going like boom, going up and down, going in the Spanish Championship, stopping in the middle of his sports career, then going straight away super young to MotoGP. My brother has been difficult career, and I feel very lucky with this, because when we were young, especially, I was using always super good brands of helmets, and like leather suit. Always I've been in the top manufacturers of leather suit, and my brother were just catching what they were offering to him. And sometimes I felt a little bit sorry about this, and I felt not good with this. But I think my brother is true image of a guy that had been fighting a lot for his dream, and he achieved it. So I think he should be super proud of it, because his sports career has been super up and down, and finally he have a good stability now in MotoGP, doing great as well, so he deserves it.
I don't want to turn this conversation into Pol and Aleix because it's about you, but that does intrigue me, because obviously he's so active on social media, and like he always talks about, I want to show people that I enjoy my life. It sounds to me like maybe that attitude now has come from the fact that he really had to graft and work super hard and scrap his way through to get here, like not having the right, you know, top manufacturers of leathers and helmets. Is that why he's so positive now, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Aleix is a guy where he like controversials, he like polemics. You know, it's...
Don't know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like, I do not enjoy with this. Yeah. I don't suffer with the criticizing of the people. I arrive to one level which I cannot suffer with this, because I would not be racing in MotoGP, but I try to avoid them, you know? My brother likes it. He get pumped with it. He get pumped when the people is saying you are a bad rider, or you will arrive nowhere, or he need actually this, you know? And then in the social networks, he's super open, he's super wide, and this makes you make a lot of mistakes, like putting things on social networks that you should not put, or that you know it's going to be controversial and people will not like it, and sometimes as you get good feedbacks, you can get super bad feedbacks, and that's why I try to stay a little bit more away on especially on my private life. But he's fully open, and he can handle these moments super good. He actually like it, so it's in this parameter we are super different.
I quite like the contrast there. It's cool.
Well, I mean, this is what we want. We want different characters. We want to see like who you each are, and if that is someone who's like, no, you're wrong, that's great, and if you're like, no. But you actually, speaking of social media, something I didn't put in here, playing the piano.
Yeah.
You've posted a few of those recently. It seems to me anyway, like I've always followed you obviously, but kind of out of nowhere this year you seem to have posted a few more videos of that. Is it something you've been learning for a long time, or is it like a new...
I mean, I play quite a lot piano, but I'm super shy with it. I mean, I'm not able to play piano in front of people. Like, I start to shake and I start to get super nervous. I don't know why, but...
MotoGP rider gets stage fright, isn't it?
No, but even playing in front of my wife, I get super nervous. I don't know why, but...
And I bet she loves that. I bet she loves that.
Maybe because I feel I do not control the situations as I normally do in the other situations of my life. So that makes me feel super scared. And I normally do not post anything on Instagram about my private life, but sometimes I feel so relaxed when I'm playing piano or listening music, and that I say, why not? Just I don't care if it's good or bad, but I just record it, making mistakes, and I'm not a good pianist, but I play just...
I mean, you're pretty good to me.
I was gonna say, like,
no.
My version of playing the piano is basically like translating the guitar chords into bass and then 3 notes, and then just going like this as I sing. So I think you're a good level.
My version of piano is playing chopsticks. That's with the 2 fingers.
Yeah, just it makes me feel super relaxed. And in these last days, where with my full family at home, I need these kind of moments where relax a little, because it's quite chaotic my life right now. So this helped me quite a lot.
I bet your kids growing up will love piano and you playing it and things like that.
I mean,
cool,
I hope my daughters will play piano very soon, much better than me.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
This is not super difficult, but it's something that my father wanted about me, and I started to play piano quite young. I stayed like 4 or 5 years. And then I started to hang out with my friends, and I said, okay, this is not cool. And this was one of the biggest mistakes I did in my life, so I take it back very late on, and now I'm suffering it to get back what I lost.
I bet that's really funny. I bet there's so many people listening, you know, we all do things. I mean, I was even told being interested in motorbike racing when I was a kid wasn't cool. You know, and I love going to motorbike racing all my life, British Superbikes, ever since I was 4 years old. People in school, that's not cool, that's not cool. And,
Oh, yeah?
well, you know, we're here now. It's pretty cool to us, you
I
know.
feel like that's a very south of England experience
Maybe.
compared to Granollers, where they'd be like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Exactly.
Spain, motorbikes, yeah, it's been
Exactly.
yeah, on the highest level.
So we'll change the topic a little bit, but good to know about piano. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I just remembered then, because I was watching it the other day, I was like, oh, I
We-
got the zen, I felt it. I was
Okay,
like,
we'll
yeah,
post we'll post something else. Okay.
Definitely go for it.
But world champion, Pol Espargaro, 2013, becoming a world champion. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
What's that like?
that was good, but it was good because I suffered so much that year. If you ask me which are the best year of your career, just enjoying riding and having fun, I would not tell you 2013. I would tell you the year before, 2012.
And I noticed earlier,
Yeah.
you got 4 more points in 2012
Yeah.
than 2013.
Yeah, in that year I
runner-up.
enjoy so much fighting with Mark every race till the last lap. I get more poles than him. I was super strong. I felt strong. I felt like I could win all the races, and then I was enjoying every race, different ways. But then 2013, it was not because the pressure. It's because when everyone expects so much about you,
Yeah.
every single mistake you paid so badly. And you know, then I started to fight with Scott, also with my teammate Tito, that I had very close inside my team. We were 3 in the team, and it was quite chaotic in that moment. And I did not enjoy so much 2013, even if it ended up with a world championship that I will remember for all my life. But I suffered quite a lot that year.
But does life change after you become a world champion? Obviously, being Moto2 world champion is a one-way ticket to MotoGP.
Yeah.
But in general life, you know, what is it like that moment you become world champion?
You know, it didn't change so much
No.
about me because, I mean, I have my friends, the friends I have since I was in school. So I did not change my friends. I was already with my wife, so I did not change. I was not going hang out with girls. So
Not living the rock star life.
I mean,
just-
it didn't change so much. Actually, in that year, the year after, when I moved to MotoGP, I moved to live in Andorra, which is a super quiet place, and just you have mountains to train, and so yeah, my life is pretty boring.
It's not. Let's clarify that.
yeah, no, boring is not the implication.
Thing is,
Well, no.
with being like a world champion and stuff, I wonder whether, well, so my question to you will be then, before you became a world champion in Grand Prix, what did you think life as a world champion would be like? And did it meet that expectation?
You know what happened when you are world champion? That you feel like when you are fighting for something so many years, you are just behind something, like a dog behind a sausage, you know, like just running to catch it. Once you have it, you say, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I get it, and now what?
Yeah,
now, okay. And you wake up the day after and say, okay, you are world champion, but you need to do the same or even better next year.
The breakfast tastes the same.
Exactly
Like,
the same. It's quite annoying, you know?
Do you think the riders in the paddock who haven't been world champions yet understand that? Do you think they know that? Or is that something you can only fully comprehend when you make it?
You know, the problem is to be able to enjoy it, you know, because when you are going behind it, it's like a trophy that you are dreaming about, and everything you are doing is to arrive there, okay? And you feel like, when I'm gonna be there, this is gonna be my dream. But once you are fighting for it, you don't feel like you have this privilege of just a few riders can fight for this. But then you feel like you normalize the situation, and you feel like this is what you should be doing. It's normal. And then in the moment you feel this is normal, you stop enjoying it. I don't know if I'm explaining well.
Yeah, I
No,
know
you are
exactly
explaining
what you
very
mean.
well,
It's the
yeah.
same before even having my job now.
Yeah.
Remembering like the job I had before that I
Yeah.
was hating, and I was
Yeah.
like, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
Like, and then you're like, oh, I'd love to work in MotoGP.
Yeah.
And then when something annoys you now, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But then you have to think back to.
It's like dreaming, you know,
before.
when I'm gonna be here or fighting for the world champion or being world champion, I'm gonna be in the glory. But then you get it and then you say, okay, just what else? You know, what I can get
Yeah.
else? And what you were fighting and dreaming for, it's already small. And this is, I think it's a human character, which is not nice.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll skip forward then a little bit because that's a good segue into your kind of mentality. Obviously, rookie season MotoGP, pretty impressive. Good run of few seasons with Yamaha. Then you made a huge decision to move to a completely new project where you're kind of going from fighting for the podium, the top 5, to building that bike from zero. Is that kind of that same mentality then that you use in that project? Because you know, like, okay, I've got the World Championship, I've got this, now let's the next thing.
I mean, it comes a little bit, I don't know if I was explaining this many times, but it comes a little bit earlier on. You know, when in my second year of MotoGP, well, after my first year in MotoGP with Yamaha, I finished, I think, 5th, very close to 4th, which it was Dobby with the Ducati. And then in that year, it was the year that Suzuki was coming into the World Championship. And I had the offer. I mean, we were talking with them, and I had some promises from Yamaha and some talking about, imagine, the retirement of Valentino Rossi. And in that moment, I said, after my first year being almost in the top, well, I've been in the top 5, they were saying, okay, just wait because maybe you're going to be in the factory team. Then second year, it was not as good in Yamaha. I had super amp, I needed to make surgery in the middle. I was in Suzuki Tower Racing, and it was not a great year. And then I saw as Suzuki started to make an amazing results very fast. And in that moment, I said, okay, you did the wrong choice. You know, you should move. When you had the opportunity, when you were strong, you should move this to a new factory, because being a factory rider in MotoGP is important to learn and to grow as a rider. It teaches you many things. And then I said to myself, when a new factory is going to come into the MotoGP, I'm going to catch it.
Wow.
Sure, I'm going to catch it. And then I saw the project of KTM, and I said, okay, Suzuki was different. They've been in the MotoGP in the past, but KTM, they are fully new
Literally
here. It's
zero,
new.
everything.
But I said, okay, if I don't take it, and then in the future they are winning or being in the podium or doing good results, I'm going to kill myself. You know? And
dramatic, but understandable.
yeah, and then it happened, you know, we end up doing podiums and pole positions. And
you were the first on the podium with them. So.
Yeah, so everything that we did, I think that was the right choice one of the greatest choice in my sports career. I suffer a lot and I fight a lot for it, but it was a good choice.
I find it's all very well saying before you took that offer, okay, I must be prepared, there's a new manufacturer, no experience, I'm not going to be winning straight away. However, what was the reality like of going from podium contender with Yamaha, really strong, to then top 10's going to be difficult to begin with? What was that really actually like?
This was very shocking. The first race, I remember the first race I was in the grid. I was just in front of my teammate, but we were the last. At I think 1 second of Tito Rabat, we was the guy in front, and we were counting with my cute mechanic Paul Trevathan. We were just counting the seconds they were taking us per lap, and just trying to figure it out if they are gonna overtake. The first is gonna overtake us during the race, and this was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And also when we finished the race, for sure the last of the race, we entered into the pit and we were just super happy because we could finish the race. So imagine in the level we were. That was...
But the level you reached as well, it must make you really proud to have been part of that from the start or from the back to the front.
Yeah, that was I think what it makes me, I think, more proud of my sports career, to bring this bike into the podium and pole positions, where I heard many times 1,000 people telling me this bike is not going to work, this chassis system is not going to work, and at the end we make it work with a lot of sweat, injuries, blood, but we make it works, and it was super nice, and I learned so much, and it was what I was looking for, you know, to grow as a rider, which I think in Yamaha I was not growing as a rider, as a satellite rider. I had, I think, zero responsibility, and there I had all the responsibility on me, and this was shocking, but it helps me to become a better man, not by just in my sports career, also in my private life. They make me a better man, and yeah, that was very, the knowledge was very nice.
But we do have a few quick-fire questions to ask you, but obviously your team has been very kind to obviously give us your time. So we do want to ask a little bit about this year as well. Bearing on everything you've told us about the decision to go to KTM, was that same mentality the reason behind this move, without regurgitating all the articles when you did move? You know.
Yeah. I mean, shooting this wall, you cannot take time. I mean, the criticism comes very, very earlier on if you are not doing the results. But at the end, I need to tell to myself that things needs time. Even if I get one pole position and the results are not as bad, I mean, I'm same points as Taka that has been here for many, many years, in front of Alex, and so actually I'm the second on the World Championship standings. The results for sure are not good, and I'm the first one criticizing myself and working more and I think better than ever. But in the same way I'm doing, everything is not going well, I'm 100% sure I will take it out. I will take the result out of this project. And the best knowledge I had, it was in KTM. So if I always I'm saying to myself, if I could take it out the results from this new project from zero, I will do that here in Honda 100%. I have no doubt. So I just need to work, time and patience, which I understand for the press and for the people and even for Honda is difficult, but it will come.
That was going to be my question, basically. Yeah, like obviously with that experience from KTM, going from where you were to where you got to, does it feel like a little bit less pressure than maybe some of the media are saying? Because some of the media sometimes like, oh, well, you're not on the podium every weekend, whereas actually you're like, no, it's okay actually, we've made this progress, we've done this. You said the pole position was like a bubble of oxygen, I think, give you a bit more energy again.
Yeah.
Does it feel different in the team where you're just working hard towards that goal rather than really any of the kind of comments around it?
I mean, you need to be out of the comments of the paddock or the comments of the press. There is always a lot of interest in the paddock, or if the different kind of journalists, different of kind of countries where the comments are coming. You know, so you need to really took the comments, the bad comments, because also you need to take the bad comments, but from the journalists or the people on the paddock that you really know they are doing for the good, not for bad, or to hurt you, or to hurt, maybe they are trying to hurt the team, but to hurt the team they need to hurt you. You know, and sometimes you need to just be aware of these kind of comments and just be focused on your line, just doing your job. And I know that's difficult, I know not all the riders can handle this, but I've been in that situation even worse before in KTM, and we with all the team overcome to these problems, and we end up doing podiums, so why not we are going to end up here doing podiums as well.
That's awesome. That's really good.
Yeah.
Should we move on to quick fires?
Let's do it.
I'll put you going to take it.
I'll go. So the first one, which three people, that's your team as well, isn't it, making the noise? Terrible.
Yeah. We have the open door in the pit box, it's amazing.
So if you could invite three people, dead or alive, from any time in history to a dinner party, who would you choose?
On a MotoGP?
Anyone in the world.
Anyone? Wow.
Anyone at all.
This is a question that I really need to think about.
Okay.
This is why we ask it first, in case you need a little bit of time.
If you want to think about that, we can ask you the second question, okay?
Okay.
So the second question is from Matt Polanski. Which track, not on the calendar at the moment, would you like to go to?
Okay, maybe for the historical as it is, maybe Imola.
Ooh, nice.
It's a place where I would like to ride. Yeah, maybe Imola. Yes, it's also.
I mean, you could do a Superbike wildcard.
Yeah, no, but also our bikes are super fast and we need the walls very far away, and then it's pretty close. But yeah, maybe Imola. It's a nice place, super historical. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Nice one. So this one's from Hey Mike Falcone.
Or Laguna Seca, I would say. Sorry, Laguna Seca as well. Yeah.
That's the one I was expecting.
Yeah, Laguna Seca as well.
Is there anyone who helped you get to where you are that we haven't heard of?
Yeah,
or that we don't know
many people. many people for sure. There is many people which is not here in the paddock and they don't want to be in the paddock that help you a lot. I mean, at the end, the people who have helped me more it's people that have helped me when I was 5 years old or 6 years old, where my father had no money and they were giving me for free, I don't know, maybe the tires or just 500 euros for my fathers to travel to one place or to pay something. You know, like we had one sponsor that it was a friend of my father, which I mean, they were doing for nothing because the publicity that a kid of 6 years old do, it's zero. So they were doing just from friendship, and they were not rich, but they were doing that. And these kind of people, for sure, will never appear in nowhere.
Yeah.
But these
the little things behind the
exactly,
scenes.
yeah, especially
heroes.
the beginning of our sport career.
Fair enough. That's nice. What Chris H on Twitter? Which era or decade would you like to time travel to?
Okay, I would say I like quite a lot the historical, like Rome, gladiators, this kind of things.
That's more extreme. And most people are like 1963.
No, no. I mean to see how they were living and which were their problems and how they solved them. That would be nice.
That's an interesting one. I like
that would be nice.
Different answer. Not had that yet.
And then the final one from Team Japan GP. What's your personal or professional motto, if you have one, or what would it be?
What the mode?
Like a
Motto.
phrase or like some words that you repeat to yourself. Is there anything you have that's like your phrase to be like, yeah?
Your philosophy?
I mean, I think it's attitude. It's something that I always say to myself, even when I'm angry, like to face the problems in a different way. I mean, I've been in MotoGP already like 9 years. So how you face the problems and how you talk to the mechanics, how you generate a relationship inside the pit box, and how, I mean, you can go to all the teams I've been, and I think nobody is going to tell you like I had not a good relationship with them. Even
we've heard terrible things.
I mean, I think I have good relationship with the mechanics, with my old mechanics, but also the mechanics that were in the other side in the time I was spending there. Like in KTM, I have an amazing relationship with my mechanics, my ex-mechanics, but also with the ex-mechanics of the other side. You know, also in Tectroa, I have super good relationship with all of them. So I think this comes from attitude, happiness, and not being a bad manners guy. I think by being like that, you can stay much more years in MotoGP or in the paddock, which is very small and everyone knows everyone's.
Probably worth saying at this point, Paul did actually turn up to the podcast early and he actually got us waters. He went and got us waters, so yeah, that polite thing we could
I was actually later than you,
So okay, final question, obviously, which 3 people, dead or alive, would you like to invite to a dinner party?
I mean, it's not popular what they're gonna say, but I wanna bring there my family.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, don't say your family.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be something political. No, but no, it's fine.
I mean,
that's fine,
you know, they are the people that is helping me more in my life.
So I guess your wife and daughters, right?
My wife and daughters.
Sorry, everyone else
maybe
in the
my
family.
brother, maybe. It depends on the latter race if he would be good or bad to me, but maybe my brother, yes.
Hey, Paul, that was really good to get to know you. Thank you for your time. Really
it was a
appreciate
pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. Certainly a side of Pol Espargaro I've not heard before. Also, his English was even better than I thought it was, and I already knew it was quite good.
Yeah, impressive stuff.
Wowee.
As he did say,
put us to shame, didn't he?
Slightly better Spanish and Catalan still, but getting there.
Certainly it really put us to shame, I think, his articulation, that's for sure.
That's for sure. So yeah, I think another good episode, if we do say so ourselves, trying to get behind the characters a little bit. Let us know what you thought of it. As always, your thoughts, questions, answers as well to the question of the week. Let us know who you want to hear from going forward from Last on the Brakes.
Yeah, because this is the
get in
third
touch.
to last race.
It is.
So episodes are running out for the season. So if
They
you
are
want to,
indeed.
if you got a suggestion, get in touch.
And if you want to give us another quick fire question idea as well, we can keep them in the vault for next year, no problems. So yeah, just get in touch as ever. Thank you for listening / watching, and arrivederci for now.
Arrivederci.